Now the news in details. We have a breaking news here. Nigeria has shot to the top of the table of their 2025 AFCON qualifier against Libya at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium by a lone goal scored by Dele Bashir. Their next game will be against Libya in Tripoli on Tuesday. Governor of Bayelsa State Senator Doye Diri on Wednesday said Nigeria was on the wrong path to development and needed to turn back, stressing that the current governance structure in Nigeria cannot deliver the future the vast majority of Nigerians deserve. Delivering a lecture titled Rethinking Our Future, the Need for True Federalism and Economic Renaissance at the 64th Founders Day Lecture of the University of Nigeria in Nsukka, Enugu State, the Bayelsa governor averred that states should constitutionally have the right to create and legislate on local governments in a truly federal structure. He reaffirmed his belief in the unity of Nigeria, which he said can only be sustained on the basis of equity, justice, and fairness. The guest lecturer expressed concern that the misgivings of ethnic nationalities and minority interests about the inequities and disequilibrium that defined the political paradigm at the time of independence in 1960 still persists, and stressed the need for a paradigm shift where the dreams and aspirations of Nigerians will not be deferred perpetually. The Bayelsa hemsman remarked that Nigeria had reached a pivotal point, a crossroads that demands wise decision-making to determine the nation's destiny and secure a prosperous future, stressing that Nigerians must engage in frank conversations about how to create a more perfect union that embraces diversity while pursuing common goals. He also argued that the current governance structure in Nigeria has left oil-producing communities impoverished despite being the backbone of the country's economy, and advocated the reconsideration of the Land Use Act of 1978, which he described as a paradox, and that no meaningful development can take place in a situation where states cannot control their resources. The governor further noted that every state in Nigeria was blessed with the natural resources as well as peculiar needs, and should be allowed to harness the resources, manage them, and develop at their own pace, while contributing a percentage to the government at the center. Earlier, the UNN Acting Vice Chancellor Professor Polycarp Chibu said the event is to celebrate the founding fathers of the institution, led by the late Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, whose vision led to its establishment on October 7, 1960. Bayelsa State Governor Senator Doye Diri has called on the people of Ijaw Nation and other well-meaning Nigerians to unite and re-strategize in their quest for resource control and restructuring of the country. Governor Diri, who was represented by his deputy, Senator Lawrence Arijakpo, made the call on Thursday at the 9th memorial anniversary of the first civilian governor of the state, Chief Diaprie Alameseya in Yenagoa. A statement issued by the Senior Special Assistant on Media to the Deputy Governor, Mr. Dobara Atasi, quoted Governor Diri as eulogizing Chief Alameseya as a true nationalist who succeeded in building bridges of unity between Ijaw Nation and other ethnic groups in the country. He stressed that the issues of injustice, environmental pollution, and economic exclusion, which late Chief Alameseya agitated against alongside his contemporaries, have not yet been achieved, and called for consecrated efforts to sustain the agitation. According to the governor, Alameseya made indelible contributions to the development of Nigeria and the states, and left behind the legacy of courage in the quest to improve the lives of his people. Governor Duri pointed out that the departed civilian governor's passion for the empowerment of the Ijaw people led him to establish the Niger Delta University for their educational advancement, adding that Alamesea's good deeds earned him accolades such as Governor General of Ijaw Nation and Champion of Resource Control. In his lecture titled Economic and Political Restructuring and Sustainable Development's Nexus in Nigeria, revisiting DSP Alamesea's position, Professor Ambili Etegbe stated that the agitation for resource ownership, control and management in Nigeria had metamorphosed into the current debate on economic and political restructuring of the country. Professor Etegbe called for restructuring of institutions, a brand new people-focused construction, reinvigoration of the state's economy, amongst others. Dignitaries at the event include the wife of the pioneer civilian governor of Bayelsa State, Mrs. Margaret Alamesea, top government functionaries, traditional rulers including the former military governor of Rivers State and Amayanabo of Town King Alfred Dieta Spieth, and the chairman of the State Traditional Rulers Council, King Bubaraye Dakolo. Ambitious fiscal reforms being spearheaded by the federal government in the oil sector of the Nigerian economy have attracted about $50 billion in investment for the country. The Minister of State for Petroleum Oil, Dr. Henneken Lakobri, who announced the development in a media chat with the Guild of Editors in Abuja on Tuesday, said Nigeria's target is to push oil production to at least 3 million barrels per day and increase Nigeria's oil revenue substantially. The minister stated that as a result of the solid reforms and the impacts they are generating in Nigeria, many of the companies that have existed in Nigeria due to the adverse operating environment are now returning to Nigeria for businesses in their oil industry. Lakobri made it clear that Nigeria is desirous of ramping up its oil production to a point that it will become self-sufficient in oil production and a reference point for the Organization of Oil Exporting Countries, OPEC. It said one of the ways to raise oil output in the country would be through the unlocking of many oil wells that had been drilled in the Niger Delta but capped for various reasons, adding that this present government is determined and committed to improving the lives of all Nigerians through workable policies. The bill, sponsored by lawmakers Abiodun Adeshida and Olaide Mohammed, seeks to create special armed squad within the FRSC and also allow officers to use firearms as part of their duties to enforce road traffic regulations, reduce road accidents, and ensure their safety across the country's highways. The bill passed its second reading after receiving unanimous support from lawmakers. The proposal includes expanding the FRSC responsibilities beyond just traffic control to also clearing road obstructions and educating the public on road safety. However, while the bill has passed crucial stages, further debate and legislative processes are required before it becomes law. The Central Bank of Nigeria, Bank of Industry and Development Bank of Nigeria have publicly declared their commitment to the Women Entrepreneurs Finance Code. The Women Entrepreneurs Finance Code, the initiative aims to tackle the substantial 294 billion naira funding gap currently affecting women-owned and women-led micro, small and medium enterprises in Nigeria. Speaking at the ceremonial declaration of Nigeria Commitment and Wi-Fi Code at the CBN headquarters in Abuja, the Governor of the Central Bank, Mr. Olayemi Kadoso, stressed the potential of women entrepreneurs worldwide. He said over 400 million women entrepreneurs around the world have the capacity to grow their businesses, add value to the economy and create jobs, but lack the financing to achieve their goals. In Nigeria, the Women's World Banking Survey reported that the Nigerian women entrepreneurial activity was higher than their male counterparts by 4%. However, 75% of the women's potential market in Nigeria remains unserved or underserved and has a 294 billion naira market opportunity that is yet to be fully tapped. He noted that the initiative presents an opportunity to empower women entrepreneurs across our nation, helping them expand their businesses and contribute to the overall economic growth of the country. The CBN governor disclosed that the financial inclusion delivery unit within the CBN will coordinate the implementation of the code, which is vital for monitoring its impact on women's financial inclusion and aligning it with the National Financial Inclusion Strategy. You're still watching the news on Niger Delta Television. Still to come in the news, prosperity government slashes prices on music talent winners. Details coming shortly after the break. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Niger Delta Television News and Current Affairs Department at the NS Ikoli Media Complex, Yen Yanagwa, Bayelsa State.
One of NDTV's traditional objectives is to disseminate information with renewed vigor. We build teamwork for accountability, efficiency, and accuracy.
Our community reports, eyewitness accounts, current affairs discussions are detailed and competitive.
As NDTV reporters, undiluted report is our goal. We gather the news and bring it to you just as it is.
Our cameras are poised to get in the story behind the story in an in-depth news report.
Our new digital equipment are top-notch with clearer visuals and audio. NDTV is repositioned to serve you better.
Join us on the news every day at 7 a.m., 12 p.m. and our major bulletin at 7:30 p.m. on Channel 25 UHF. NDTV, crystallizing the vision.
Now to entertainment news. Niger Delta University graduate Itonyo has emerged winner of Bayelsa Karaoke competition, clinching cash prize of 1 million naira and recording contract for 1 year. For details of this report and more on entertainment news, let's join Delights Oladele.
The Bayelsa Karaoke Singing Competition Season 4, with the theme Challenge for Prosperity, held at Banquet Hall, Yenegwa. The annual karaoke competition hosts 36 contestants in the 8 weeks music competition, and 3 emerged as winners. In a message to the occasion, Bayelsa State Governor Senator Doyediri, represented by the Commissioner for Tourism Development, Mr. John Hala, assured of his administration's commitment to invest in the entertainment industry to boost tourism and engage the youth meaningfully. It was also a deliberate effort to empower the young ones, reduce social vices, and discover talents in music. The initiator of the Bayelsa Karaoke Singing Competition, Mr. Joseph Emarada, the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor in Entertainment Matters, said the Hit Weeks competition platform was to develop music talents and to build their skills for a great future. Furthermore, the Governor congratulated the winners of this edition and assured that the Prosperity Government would sustain the annual karaoke competition. At the end of the grand finale, Mr. Samson Itonyo emerged as the winner with a cash prize of 1 million naira and 1 year recording contract, while Kekebwal Dennis emerged runner-up with a prize money of 600,000 naira, and Ruth Olu Samson came third and received the sum of 400,000 naira. Nigerian politician Ned Nwoko has taken to social media to pen a rather sweet note to his wife, Nollywood actress Regina Daniels, as she celebrates her 24th birthday. Momoko took to Instagram to post a video from his woman's sultry photo shoot. In the caption, he jotted on her by penning a touching tribute that showcases his love and appreciation for her. He wrote, "To my dear wife, Gina, it's amazing how time flies. I don't really like the idea we have to do this only once a year because I always wish we could celebrate you every single day. You are an amazing wife and mother, and we love you so much." Also, a wise man once said, "Love is sweet, but when money enters, love is sweeter." In the spirit of Regina's birthday, he then announced a giveaway of 50,000 naira each to the first 50 correct answers to the question he asked. Three of Africa's finest music talents, Nigeria's Fireboy, South Africa's Nonsable Zikode, and Kenya's Sophia Nzao, have teamed up on a new collaborative single titled Meta. The track, poised to become Africa's next anthem, fuses Afrobeat, Amapiano, reggae and beats, creating a powerful blend of African rhythm that promises to reverberate across the global music scene. The groundbreaking collaboration combines diverse musical styles and languages, which creates a fresh sound and embodies the spirit of unity and celebration across the continent. Also, the song represents the convergence of cultures, drawing inspiration from the concept of three, a number that symbolizes harmony, balance, and connection in various contexts. The track's lyrics evoke a message of unity, capturing the essence of Africans' diversity with breaking down borders through music. This collaboration brings together three distinct voices from different corners of the continent, creating a shared heartbeat, already gaining momentum on social media and airwaves across Africa. Meta is set to make its visual debut in November. Delight Oladili for Entertainment News.
After the debut.
And now to our sports news. World tennis legend Rafael Nadal would be retiring from tennis next month after the Davis Cup finals in Malaga, Spain. For details of this report and more sports stories, let's join Ayemi Miene.
After the Davis Cup finals in Malaga, Spain next month, Rafael Nadal has announced that he will be retiring from tennis. The Davis Cup finals in Malaga will host the Spaniard's final competitive match, capping off an incredible career in his native country. Due to injuries, Rafael Nadal has had a difficult few months. He has not participated in a competitive match since representing Spain at the Olympics, where he was defeated by Novak Djokovic in the singles competition and struggled in doubles matches with Carlos Alcaraz. In his statement, the Spaniard said, "It is obviously a difficult decision, one that has taken me some time to make, but in this life, everything has a beginning and an end. And I think it's the appropriate time to put an end to a career that has been long and much more successful than I could have ever imagined." By claiming 22 Grand Slam titles and solidifying his place among the greatest players to have ever played the game, Rafael Nadal made his mark in tennis history. Nadal became a professional in 2001 at the age of 14, and he went on to win a record 14 French Open titles, 4 US Open titles, 2 Wimbledon titles, and 2 Australian Open titles. Additionally, he excelled in the Olympics, taking home gold in both the men's single competition in Beijing in 2008 and the doubles competition in Rio de Janeiro in 2016. Nadal's retirement in Malaga seems to be a fitting way to end his career, as the 38-year-old also assisted Spain in winning 4 Davis Cups. Moving on to another story. While traveling to cover the much-awaited Africa Cup of Nations qualifying match between Nigeria's Super Eagles and Libya's Mediterranean Knights, a Nigerian journalist has reportedly been killed and several others kidnapped. On Wednesday, the crew was abducted while traveling to Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, the location of the match. Reputable football writer and former Super Eagles media officer Colin Udo, who revealed the news on his X page, claims that the dead journalist was a former Super Sports colleague and a member of the match's production team. According to Mr. Udo, in an attempt to conserve fuel, the team chose to bypass a known hotspot, but sadly they became the target of kidnappers. Although some crew members have been released, at least 2 are still missing. Today, Friday, Nigeria and Libya are set to play in the Africa Cup of Nations qualifying match at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium, a game that Nigeria has to win. I am Ayemi Mene for NDTV Sports.
And lastly on sports, also from the world of sports, Bayelsa Queens and Heartland Queens have secured positions in the pre-semi-finals of the ongoing 4th edition of the Betsy Obaseki Women's Football Tournament. Both teams came out tops in their respective groups. Bayelsa Queens demonstrated their supremacy in Group B to finish with 9 points, while Heartland Queens of Owerri in Imo State also attained the lead in Group B with a maximum of 9 points. Bayelsa Queens trashed their opponents Espoir FC of Benin Republic 4-0 on March Day 4 at the University of Benin and achieved their qualification for the next round. Heartland Queens also defeated Aguil Royal Dajara of Cotonou 1-0 at the Western Boys High School in Ikpoba, Oka, local government area of Edo State. BOWFT, Nigeria's foremost pre-season women's football tournament, is an initiative of Mrs. Betsy Obaseki in collaboration with private sector partners to groom and empower the girl child. And now to our foreign scene. An Israeli airstrike in central Beirut on Thursday resulted in the death of at least 22 individuals. Lebanon's health ministry reported the updated death toll, confirming that at least 22 people have died, with the number of injured rising to 117. Also, Israeli ground forces in Lebanon have been accused of opening fire on the UN peacekeeping headquarters, injuring 2 Indonesian soldiers. The recent raid on Beirut marked the 3rd attack on the center of the Lebanese capital since Israel intensified its campaign last month. Additionally, a senior Hezbollah official, Wafik Saif, has escaped an Israeli assassination attempt in Beirut, following a series of killing of high-ranking Hezbollah officials. To end the news, a recap of our major stories. Bayelsa State Governor Senator Doye Duri has called on the people of Ijaw Nation and other well-meaning Nigerians to unite and re-strategize in the quest for resource control and restructuring of the country. We also brought you reports that the bill sponsored by lawmakers Abiodun Adeshida and Olaide Mohammed seeks to create a special armed squad within the FRSC and also allow officers to use firearms as part of their duties to enforce road traffic regulations, reduce road accidents, and ensure their safety across the country's highway. And finally, Niger Delta University graduate Itonyo has emerged champion in Bayelsa Karaoke competition, clinching cash prize of 1 million naira and recording contract for 1 year. And that's it all on the news tonight. Many thanks for staying with us. I am Ebi Messia Apa. Thanks for watching.